Like many other belly dancers, I liked that in belly dance you can be heavy and in your 50s and still have a career. It's true that most popular belly dancers lean towards either athletic fit or voluptuous, but I saw that as a result of training hard 10 to 15 hours a week. My eating disorder was caused by a lot of factors. I was put on Devaprax for bipolar disorder when I was 31, and no one informed me for several years that it causes huge hunger pangs. I had severe self-hatred issues regarding my dark skin and my plump figure. I suffered a lack of connection with communities that could have been supportive of me, and I have been single my whole life. I thought belly dance would make me more attractive. What I got from belly dance was so much more precious than that. I had been sedentary all my life until I started studying belly dance at the age of 27. Because of this, I struggled with the lengthy and grueling warm ups on a lot of the newer belly dance DVDs, often being too exhausted after the warm ups to do the drills. But belly dance also acted as a gateway to studying other dance forms and exercises. I started taking yoga at various studios when I could afford to. One of the best pieces of advice I got from my first yoga teacher, Angelina Thorne, a fabulous belly dancer in her own right, was to do restorative yoga. But restorative yoga was also expensive. Belly dancers usually cross-train in other dance forms to provide rigor and enrichment. I tried ballet at Harbour, modern dance at Shadbolt. The thing about belly dance is that it gave me a focus on my body that wasn't based on either food or sexuality. It allowed me to focus on my body as a structure that moves, rather than as an object of desire or as a source of hunger. Even when I was dancing ineptly, even when I was dancing sloppily, at least I was in motion, rather than looking for external sources to feed me or validate my desirability. More amusingly, it gave me things to desire beyond wanting to fit into a size zero dress, such as DVDs, beautiful costumes, lovely workshops, a career as a belly dancer teacher, you name it. As a person living with a limited income, most of these things were beyond my reach, but at least it gave me something to look forward to. My eating disorder took the form of orthorexia, an obsession with eating the right kinds of foods, with being nourished the right way. It only ended when I was taken off valproic acid. My one regret was spending $500 on Suhela's online classes in 2011. I spent all my time working on isolations and trying to get my glute squeezes up to speed. I didn't even enjoy the finger cymbal classes, which everyone universally praised, because they were too fast paced. I still love Suhela's work as a dancer and choreographer. It was especially disappointing because the Fitness Fusion DVDs were so good for my body awareness, and it was tedious doing the same 45-minute warm up in each of the level 1 classes again and again. I was often too tired out from the warm ups to do the drills, let alone the combos at the end of each class. I've been interested in Suhela's format from reading about her on Vaz. I loved her syllabus with its emphasis on studying the great belly dancers of the past while looking forward to the future of fusion and its many creativity assignments. Ashara was doing the artist way at one time, and I ended up buying both that book and The Vein of Gold, which I preferred. I know I reacted badly when people on Vaz said mean things about Suhaila, because I don't like meanness, which to me is unjustified. I was emotionally invested in trying out her format because she taught a lot of the things that I was interested in. I was interested in the work of her mother, Jamila Salimpour, even though I had misgivings about the authenticity of her scholarship. I liked the idea of a half Middle Eastern dancer like Suhaila being on the forefront of fusion belly dance. I also thought for the longest time that California tribal was the same as the origins of tribal fusion, even though American tribal style was a huge part of what gave tribal fusion its look, and really looking up Rachel Bryce and her teacher Jill Parker on Wikipedia would have been enough to sort that out for me. So when I went on Vaz, saying I wanted to be a tribal fusion teacher without studying ATS, I got my ass handed to me. It was a traumatizing experience. Later, I took a couple of classes with Lucitera in Vancouver when they were still teaching ATS and performing as fusion belly dancers. And he told me a lot of tribal and fusion belly dancers use obliques to power the hip work as opposed to gluteal squeezes because most belly dancers can't do the gluteal squeezes fast enough. How did I get from there to doing up to an hour of belly dance practice regularly? A big game changer was doing Alaya Tabit's 20-minute daily improvisational practice. She's not big on drills, but paradoxically, doing 20 minutes of dance improvisation on a regular basis made my approach to practice more playful, and I started to look at video practice as fun. I especially liked Sarah's beautifully shot tribal DVDs and exceptional classes from Datura Online. I liked Zojake's 2 hour long videos, which had a lot of variety within them. I wonder if Anasma will ever release online classes. She was supposed to in 2012 when Rachel Bryce was starting Datura Online, but I guess all the different projects he did took priority as well as they should. Autumn Ward finally started teaching online classes this year. I wasn't fond of her first DVD, but I would like to look at her choreography for Zaina just as a reference. I still love her amazing drum solo that she did a few years ago and posted on World Dance New York's YouTube channel. I still once wanted to get Jamila's certification, but they're very stern about having students learn Sohela formats simultaneously. And right now, I'm working on building up my knee strength and building up my back strength to deal with my scoliosis, so workshops will have to wait for a while.